Okay. Now, if you look into this controller, we created a service object, right? Say yes or no?
Yes, sir, we created.
Yes, sir.
We created a service object. With that service object, we are invoking the list product. But as part of the .NET MVC core, you should not create object like this. For that, we are going to implement IOC and dependency injection. Okay, to implement IOC, please make a note. To implement IOC, and DI concept. I'm going to teach only these concepts. I'm not going to teach any other thing. Okay, listen carefully. This IOC and DI concept. To implement dependency, IOC first. IOC, what is IOC? Anyone can tell me? Inversion of control. IOC stands for inversion of control. It will help you to create object at runtime. Okay, it will help us. It will help us to create object for the first time. Got my point? Everybody clear with this point?
Yes, sir.
This object can be used anytime. Whenever you make a request, object will be created. How to create that one? To implement, to create IOC, we need to have a service contract. Understand my point? As well, and service class. You need to have two classes, two files. One is service contract, another one is service class. What is service contract is nothing but service contract is nothing but an interface. Service contract is nothing but interface. You understand my point? Everybody? Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what you need to do, you go to the solution, create a folder called service contract. All these things I'm going to change in later. Okay. This folder structures and everything I'll go change in a different project when we go for project. Okay. Service contract. Did I created a service contract folder?
Yes, sir.
In the service contract folder, add new item. I'm going to select an interface. I'm going to select an interface. What I need to write here is I product service. Is it an interface or not?
Yes, sir. Interface.
Yes, sir.
Always to have a I will be the prefix. Click add. Now you see I got an interface. Here in interface, can I have method implementation or method?
Only method definition.
Only method.
Definition.
We can declare.
Come again.
Just to declare a method without a implementation.
Just to declare a
Method.
method without a beautiful of implementation. Or you got my point? So in interface, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use list product model and say list products. Okay. So this one I'm to implement in my service. So what I'm going to do to implement this interface, I copy this interface, go to my service class. In the top, here, I'm going to use I product service. Understand my point?
Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to quick action refactory. You see, the method is created or not? Already the method name is there. I'm using the same method. Now, if you look into here, in the list product, I want to move this code. This model creation code will be another method, not this method. So what I will do, I'll create another prepare method. Listen carefully. I create a public list product model prepare products. Okay, here I copy everything. I paste it here. So now both methods are having the same thing. Say yes or no? Prepare method and this method also same. Now what I'm going to do, I'm removing everything here. I remove everything and say instead of here, I'm going to call prepare product. Can I do this? Can I do this? Did
Yes,
I do?
sir.
Did I do any implementation here?
Yes,
In
sir.
this service, did I made any implementation? My question is here. Did I made any implementation here?
No.
No, right?
No.
Now, if you go to controller,
Mhm.
if I put dot, you see both methods are displaying,
Yes, sir.
but I don't want to display the prepare method. I want only list product method. How should I do that?
Sir, separately, no, sir.
So we can write, sir, private.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Product service
No,
is
I
a
don't want. I don't
reference.
want to create any method as private. I want to see. I want to expose everything, but I can share only the list product resource.
Sir, object reference is assigned to not product service, is corresponding to different, say, interface. Declare with product service replace with interface name.
See,
Yes, sir.
this one,
Yes, sir.
I product service.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Then only
That's all.
apply
So
encapsulation.
what will happen? Only interface methods will be exposed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exactly.
Understand my point? Everybody clear? Everybody clear? If you guys are not clear, let me know. Venugopal, Yoganand, Rajendra, Pradeep Ramyal, Mrs. Swapna.
Yes, sir. Understanding.
I didn't get exactly.
Come again?
I didn't get it, sir.
Yogananda, you are not getting, right? See,
Yeah.
in a class, I have how many methods here? How many methods I have?
2 methods.
I want to create object for only interface. Understand my point? I want to create object for only interface containing methods. How many methods are there in the interface?
One method.
How many methods you declared in interface?
3
One
methods.
Come again?
In the interface, we have done one.
Only one method, which
Only
is
one
list
method.
product.
Okay.
Now you got my point. So I want to create object for this interface. I'm not going to create object for the implementation class. You got the point? You're gonna
Bit confused, sir. I'll go through that. So,
see, I'll tell you. This product class has how many methods, Yoganand?
2 methods.
2 methods. Okay. Now, when I create object, can I access both methods?
Yes.
Everybody listen. If you create object, you can access both method or not.
Yes, sir. we
Guys,
can add.
unmute and talk. Everybody unmute and talk.
Yes, sir.
When you create object, you will get object for both methods or not.
Yes, sir.
First question.
We
You
can
will
get
get
two.
an object for both methods. Now, my intention is I don't want to create object for this class. Instead, I want to create object for iProduct service.
Okay.
Okay, but
Sorry, got
what
my
is the
point.
reason, sir? What is the reason for
The
that?
reason is I want to expose only the interface methods.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want to expose this entire class methods. Class may contain 20 methods.
Okay, okay.
Class
Okay,
may
got it.
contain
Yes, sir.
20 methods.
This is
Okay,
one
but
of the
I don't want to expose all the methods. I want to expose only the interface containing methods.
yes, sir. This is like a interface segregation principle, one of the solid principle.
Yes. Or you got my point. So
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm planning to do in my controller, I create object for iProduct service. My class constructor will execute. Object will be created, but when the memory created, the memory will be holded for only iProduct service methods.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand my point? You understand my point?
Yes, sir.
Very simple. If you use a directly class name, you got all the products you see here. You got list product and preferred product. If you
Yes, sir.
use I here, iProduct service, you get only list products. You can't see the preferred product. So that I'm creating object will be for only interfaces.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Ishwar, can you go for a mute?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understand my point? So iProduct service will be create object. Now, if you run it, functionality will not change. Functionality will be as similar that. See, functionality is not changing. Is the functionality changing anywhere? Say yes or no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It is not changing. Everything is working as expected, but the object I'm creating. Did I implement IOC? No. IOC means in the program.service class, in the under the builder method, I am registering a class. I am registering a class. You got my point? So how I'm going to register the class? Simply register a product service in a builder method, which in turns create object for the product service class. Understand my point? Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now what I'm going to do here in the builder service, builder dot services dot add new service descriptor. You have to do the braces. Here you need to add 3 values. What are the 3 values? Is service type, service name, and lifetime. I got my point. So type of I product service, comma, type of product service, okay, comma, service lifetime dot transient. Okay, here I'm going to remove this one. Okay, now you got the services, say yes or no. Say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what will happen? This builder service will collect this particular service and add it in the collection. Because we last 2 days before class that this service is holding the object of every collection of objects, right? So it will add the service descriptor. The moment it add the service descriptor, this will automatically create an object on their own. When I'm adding itself, it is creating object for the iProduct service. I don't want to create object here. I don't want to create object here. Okay, I'm not creating an object. Now, if I don't have an object, I'm getting an exception.
Yes, sir.
When I build it, I'll get an exception.
Yes, sir.
Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
I get an exception. What is that? The
That
name
method
product
is not
service
working.
does not exist in the current context. So what you need to do in the constructor of controller,
Right.
I am going to inject iProduct service object. I'm going to inject which object? Product service. Understand my point?
Yes, sir.
Now here, I'm declaring a private read-only iProduct service. Whatever the object I'm injecting, I'm going to hold it in this variable. So what I'm going to do, what is the purpose of this? This
Current
denotes the current class.
Current class.
Okay, so this nothing but current product class, controller class, and the variable within the class is underscore product service. So whatever the product service you are passing to the controller will collect that particular object, and that will be assigned to this variable. Now here, I'm not going to create object. I'm removing this concept. I'll simply say this dot
Underscore.
product service dot list product. Did I create object in my controller?
No.
Everybody say,
No,
sir.
sir.
do we create any object in the controller?
No, sir.
We never created an object. Where you are getting from the object?
Build service.
Hmm? Who is creating object for you?
Service.
Interface service, sir, from the build.
Come again?
Constructor is creating, so the interface which we registered into the pipeline.
Hmm. Okay.
In construction, we injecting the service object, so that time the object is created.
Hmm. I don't understand. Can you explain once again?
Uh, can you scroll down the code up when we declare the constructor in controller? So construction is the initialization of the object, and we in that constructor we initializing the service object. So that time the object.
It is not initializing the service object, injecting the service object.
Okay.
See, object will be created here. Okay,
Okay.
understand my point?
Yeah, understand.
Okay, let me show you, let me give you example. Must paint. In middleware, we said like register and create pipeline, right? And we also had one more, sorry. The third point we are having is inject, register and create object. Can I say yes? Can I? This is so correct meaning.
Yes.
Everybody, please say yes or no.
Yes, sir. Correct meaning, sir. Because
Create
of foreground,
object,
sir. Foreground
object
that's
for
used,
a
right?
service.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Or you got my point?
Yes, sir.
In the product controller, whatever the object you are creating, you are going to inject here.
Okay.
Or you got my point?
Yes, sir.
You are going to inject the object.
Okay.
Or you got my point?
Yes,
So
sir.
this concept is called a
Mm-hmm.
concept of what we are discussing. This concept is called dependency injection. And this
Okay.
concept is called IOC, inversion of control.
Oh.
Without inversion of control, I can't able to do an injecting the object, which is dependency injection.
Mm-hmm.
Understand my point?
Yes, sir.
Are we creating object in the product controller?
No, sir.
Where we are creating object?
Middleware inside
Middleware as a injection,
injection.
right? Once you register and it automatically create object, that object you are going to inject. Let practically see this.
Sir, one question.
I put a
Uh,
breakpoint here. Yeah. Yeah,
Can
Anjali.
we call this method? Can we call the construction injection?
No,
Like this?
it is a parameterized constructor. Technically, hoops concept, it is a parameterized constructor. I am passing a parameter to a constructor while creating an object. Understand my point? See, controller is a class, right?
Yes.
Say yes or no. Controller is a class or not?
Class.
See, controller is a class, right? If your controller is a class, if you call this controller containing index action method, you need to have an object for the controller.
Yes.
Come on, guys, you have to speak. Everybody
Yes,
sleeping. Early morning, 9 a.m., you guys are sleeping. Huh? Whether the controller is a class or not,
Yes, sir. Class.
Yes, sir.
controller is a class. The index action method is a method in the class or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Method.
Or you got my point? So if I call this controller index action method, my program.cs file middleware has a service add controller with the view.
Yes, sir.
This will create object for the controller or not. It will create object for your controllers.
Mm-hmm.
It will
Okay.
collect all the controllers and create object and keep it ready.
Okay.
Whenever the request comes and hits with the help of that particular object, it is automatically coming to the index action method. Internally happening this.
Okay.
Now we are exposing things outside.
Mm-hmm.
Or you got my point? So
Yes,
how
sir.
you are exposing things outside means you are writing your own service class. You are writing your own service class to implement business logic and business validation.
Okay.
Same way you are implementing an interface.
Mm-hmm.
Now what you are doing in the program.cs file, instead of register as predefined middlewares, I'm going to write a user defined way to inject, creating object in the builder method.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, both are doing the same thing.
Same thing. Yes, sir. One is
Okay,
providing
this
to
builder dot service dot add controller with view will do the same thing,
yes, sir.
and this one also will do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
But
That is
problem here
internal,
is
that is
this is
external.
predefined.
Yes, sir.
This is user defined.
User defined. Yes, exactly.
Sir,
Everybody clear?
what is the best practice to do?
Best
Correct.
practice means
Means both are doing same thing, right? You said. So
no.
always we
This
have to
is
create a class.
this is framework is given to you.
Okay, okay.
See,
Yeah, it is wrong.
Ravi, this is predefined. Predefined means what? Framework is already built it for you.
Correct.
You are just going to use it. This one, you are creating your own class and you are injecting.
Okay.
So that is why I said this is predefined IOC. And this is user defined IOC. Understand my point?
Yes, sir. This is we created.
This we created. This one is already created by framework. Now you are adding the same thing, both will do. Now I put a breakpoint here. Now you see. So if it take time also, I'm ready to teach tomorrow also. Okay, but I want this concept to be most important. 80% of your MBC project failed because of this concept. 4 projects.
Yes, sir.
See, now you see here in the builder.services, you should have a product service class, right? It won't have that. You see here, type is Microsoft.extension.dependency injection descriptor. Everything is a dependency injection.
Yes, sir. Everything is a dependence.
Everything is based on the dependency injection. All are singleton. Now, when I run it, you see this builder as a service, as a product service. You will see. Earlier 126, now 127. You see there is a product service, which is added. Say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now you see here, what is the service class is implemented?
Product service.
Product service. What is your service lifetime? Transient. Are you got the mind?
Yes, sir.
So object is created by me, or it is created by the Angular core. Who is created that object?
Automatic created, sir.
.NET core is automatically created. That is the beauty of ASP.NET core.
Okay.
Or you got my point? The main beauty of ASP.NET core is it will create object for you. You just go and register. Now I am putting a breakpoint in controller. Okay, I'm putting a breakpoint in controller. Continue. You see, there is a product service object is coming here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Where this object is created?
In middleware service descriptor.
In middleware service descriptor object is created. But are you using that service descriptor object in middleware, or are you using that object in product controller?
Product controller.
Product controller.
Product controller. So is it a dependency injection?
Object is creator in middleware. That one using in controller, correct?
Yes. That is called dependency injection. You create object in one layer, can be accessed by another layer is known as dependency injection.
Okay.
Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we write this line in Notepad? It will help us.
Yeah, definitely I will do.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, yesterday, Microsoft second round is completed. So they are asking two things. One is solid principle inside of DA dependency inversion. What is the difference between dependency inversion and dependency injection? I don't mean.
See, dependency injection is you are injecting the object. Dependency inversion, I don't think. DI and dependency inversion, I don't know. IOC, I know. There is no concept called dependency inversion. Let me check. Always a dependency injection. There is no dependency inversion.
Yeah, I think one of the point in solid principle.
The one which I told you the same. IOC, they are talking dependency inversion. You see here, this guy is saying, I have calculator, I have abstraction, I have different methods, right?
Okay.
What is higher level is a middleware, lower level is an abstraction, main level is an interaction. I got my point. You
Yes,
are
yes.
registering this object in your higher level module. That is why it is called as dependency inversion principle.
No, sir, I am
With the-
not glad.
No, I will explain.
Yes,
I will explain. You go
Yes.
through this one.
Okay.
Okay, you will get an idea.
Okay.
It's similar what we discussed. IOC is nothing but a dependency inversion principle.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you create object in somewhere and get that object for assigned in the another where. That is called dependency inversion. Okay.
Are we going to learn solid principles in this project as well?
No. What is needed, we are going to learn. We are not going to learn everything. That is a big topic. If I touch that, it will go another 10 to 20 days.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now point here is, this is the one. Now you all understand what is the dependency injection?
Yes, sir.
Everybody clear? Now, I am going to do few things. Okay, listen carefully. I am creating a 3 object variable. I'm going to get 3 objects here. Private, read only, product service, product service 1. Private, read only, product service 2. Like that, I'm going to put here. Clear my point? Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I added all the objects here. I'm creating object for 4 times. Now what I'm going to do, better to have an underscore so that it will be easy. Okay, now how many objects I created in this class? Receiving. How many objects I'm receiving? 3 objects. Now I want to pass this object to my view. Okay, so how I'm going to pass this object is view bag dot object 1 equal to this dot product service dot get hash code. Listen carefully. This is most important. I'm copying this. Okay, here I'm going to say object 2. Here I'm going to say object 3. 1, 2. How many objects I have?
Now we have 3.
3 objects I'm getting from the builder method. Now build it. If time permits, I'll explain remaining one. Otherwise, I can close it. We'll connect tomorrow. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going here in my index HTML. Below H1 class, I'm going to have a div. class equal to row. Okay, and P class equal to paragraph. Here I'm going to say at viewback.object. Okay, like that I'm going to have 3 paragraphs. 1, 2. How many paragraphs I have? 3 paragraphs, 2, 3. Now I'm running the project. How many objects we have created? We called in your controller.
3 objects.
How many objects we called in a controller?
As of now,
Hey
we
guys, totally 3 objects we received. Now you see how many objects, whether the object for everything is same or different.
it's unique.
Whether the object memory is same for all the 3 objects or different. Different. So that if we use your service lifetime is transient, every time a request comes, a new object will be created. Understand my point? I will
Yes, sir.
explain tomorrow also notes. Don't worry. Notes I will give you tomorrow. Here, whenever you create object, every time when you say transient, every time object will be new. Now, sir, if I give instead of transient, I give scope, what will happen? Now you see. Whether the object is same or different.
Same.
Completely same, sir.
Even though you pass object for 3 different variables with the different places, you are getting different object or same object.
Same object.
Now the same URL, I am requesting with the different browser. Both objects are same or different.
Different, sir.
Different object.
So this is one scope and this is another scope. Will you all agree?
Yes, sir, I
Yes, sir.
agree. I agreed, sir.
This is the one scope, this is another scope. Now if you refresh, the scope will change. If you refresh, the scope is also changed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Understand my point?
Yes.
In transient, every time a new object will be created and it will give you as a dependency injection. In scope, for a particular browser, you will have only one object. When you refresh it, whenever you refresh a request, you'll get a new scope. Understand my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what is mean by singleton? If I use singleton, when you run it, now you see here, you get a single object
Yes,
or
sir.
multiple object.
Single object.
Copy the URL. Is it a single
sir.
object, multiple object?
Single object.
Single object.
Every time you refresh, you will get the same object.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is called singleton.
Mm-hmm.
You understand my point?
Yes, sir.
So you all understand what is transient, what is scope, what is singleton?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody clear?
Yes.
Clear, sir. But one thing, sir. అంటే ఎక్కడెక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తాం మనం అంటే లైక్ ఇలా యాష్ కోడ్లు చేంజ్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి సార్ డిఫరెంట్ యాష్ కోడ్స్ సార్
See, hash code is nothing but your memory.
యా సార్ ఐ నో
Hold on. Hash code is nothing but your memory space of the RAM, where it is actually allocated. If you would have seen my yesterday's C# session, I would have explained clearly what is how the memory is being allocation and all those things. Okay.
డిఫరెంట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ లో ఒక్కొక్క స్కోప్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం కదా ఏ స్కోప్
It is not project. It is a scenario specific. I'll tell you.
yes sir.
Let's take an example of country list, state list.
Okay.
Whether the object of that particular service will be unique to every resource or different.
Single sir.
Come again?
It's a single sir, not a different.
The same country list will be used by across all the resources. See, you have 13 people,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
All 13 people open their own browser and looking for a particular project.
Mm-hmm.
Searching for a particular project. Will the country list will change for everyone?
No sir.
It's common.
It's common. Can I go for singleton object for a country service?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir. Like a static
Data,
websites.
static data.
Static data.
Yes sir.
Static data you can go for
Mm-hmm.
singleton object.
Okay sir.
Now coming to scope.
Uh-huh.
In scope, you logged in with your user. I logged in with my user.
Okay.
Ravi has logged in with his user.
Okay.
His data of user is different from my data of user, right?
Yes sir.
Similar way, my data of user is similar from your data of user, right?
Okay.
So can I go for a scope? Because based on the browser, I can use scope so that object can be shared across only within that scope.
Within that scope. Yes sir, exactly.
Am I right?
Yes sir.
So in that scenario, see, for example, few projects, what happened? Your login credentials, login details, login user informations, everything will be in a single call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you no need to do the different call, right?
Yes sir.
So that particular point of time, you have to use which one?
Okay.
Which one you have to use?
Scope.
Scope sir.
Scope.
Scope.
Now, every transaction you are making will be a different logic and different data.
Mm-hmm.
Irrespective of the scope or irrespective of the object, common value, you need to make a transactions.
Okay.
Anything you make transactions, those are transient or scoped or
It's a
singleton.
transient. The
Transient.
unique transaction IDs will be have. Correct.
Okay, so that is the only difference.
Yes sir. I got it. Thank you sir.
You all understand?
Yes sir, I understand.
Devarani. Devarani. Devarani.
Yes, sir. Me.
If you are not speak, I will remove. Devarani, did you speak? Unmute yourself and speak, please. Hello.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay.
Sir,
Ready,
regarding
Pramya? Yeah, go ahead. You're asking something.
Yeah, sir, regarding notes, is it possible to share it on the shared part so that we get a daily update of your notes?
Notes I can
Sweet.
give later point of time. I want you to prepare notes
Oh,
to
okay.
understand the context.
Okay, just for revision, I thought if you are which we
No. I'm hate giving notes.
okay.
I will give notes end of the batch.
Okay. So we'll have
I
to create
will
our
tell you
own.
the reason. If I
Yeah.
give you notes, you will focus on notes. I don't want you to focus on notes. I want you to focus on concepts.
Sure. Okay.
Understand my point? you go through the video, you go through the same video 10 times. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay.
And prepare your own notes, what you understand.
Yes, sir. I'm doing that.
Okay.
Okay,
That will
okay.
help you to gain knowledge. The faculty giving some notes, you copy that and mug it and go on. That doesn't make sense. You can't learn technology in that way. Understand my point?
Yeah, so we'll create
Yes.
our own, yeah.
My notes, why I am doing is I want make you to clear with the concept. That's why I am giving notes. Understand my point? The same way, what you understand, you need to prepare your own notes.
Okay, okay.
You're clear my point?
Yes, sir. And last point, sir, during this project, like we're going to create e-project. So the services which we are going to use, that can be singleton or transient. It depends on it, right? We will
No,
going
no,
to,
no. That is depends on the project and scenario. We will
yeah,
discuss
current.
that particular point of time. Okay, there are
Okay,
a lot of scenarios comes in picture.
okay,
In
okay,
that particular point of time, we will do that. Don't worry.
okay, okay, sure, okay, sure.
Anybody have any questions? Feel free to ask. I have 5 minutes more. If you can ask, I can answer.
Sir, in
Sir,
Hold on,
we
I
are
will stop the recording.
database for that, like this lecture.